Hey, welcome to my channel. It's so awesome that you would take a few minutes out of your day and just spend some time with me. I like to share stories that I like to call moments of sanctuary, where the sacred has encountered a moment of ordinary. And today is a story around a yard sale. And you would think that's a most ordinary kind of thing. But there was a series of coincidences that I'm like to believe is maybe more of a holy thing. And it starts off, the youth are holding a yard sale to raise money for their trips this summer. And a family saw the advertisement that we were going to do this and called me up and said, do you have a truck or somebody that can come get some furniture, because we particularly have a couch and some chairs that we want to get out of our house. They came with our house and we want to get rid of them, and they're in our way, and that would be fantastic if you would like to come make some money off of them. So I said, sure. You know, I'm kind of in the market for a new couch for the youth room. Would you mind if I put the couch in the youth room and maybe discarded an older futon that's falling apart and the bedding keeps sliding down and it's not really functioning for us. I'm looking for a couch to replace that. And they said, sure, that would be just fine. So that would really still help us out. So we went over, got the couch, took it to the youth room, upgraded to a much more comfortable seating situation in the youth room, took the futon down to the yard sale. On the day of the yard sale, a gentleman who normally comes to our Monday night community dinners was walking by. It was particularly cold that morning. It was a couple months ago, almost to the day, and it was unseasonably cold. And we were giving out coffee. And so I offered him some coffee, and he was looking, and he said, hey, how much do you want for that futon? And I said, we just want $10. It goes to missions. And he said, I think I might have somebody who wants that. So off he goes down the block. He comes back a little bit later with a $10 bill and said, you know, there's a woman staying up the road and she's been sleeping on the floor for several weeks, and she would be thrilled to take that futon, and here's her money, and we're not totally sure how we're going to get it there. And I said, no problem, I got teenagers. So about 4 teenagers came over with one of my adult males and picked it up and carried it about a block and a half, couple blocks up the road, and put it in the house for this woman. And the next day, or I guess it was actually technically 2 days later, I saw the gentleman again on the community dinner, and I said, how's the futon working out? And he said, oh, she is so happy to not be sleeping on the floor anymore. And at youth group that day, I had the youth who had carried the couch up the street start bragging and sharing with other youth how they had carried a couch up the road, and how that was so funny that they were going on the sidewalk with this futon, and that everybody was looking at them and they thought this was like so funny. And so it's something that they will always remember and have a positive experience. And I was just really struck here at every step of the way. It was a blessing, but nobody besides me telling the full story knew that each thing became another blessing for someone else. The first family wanted their space. They wanted it cleared. They wanted to feel good about making a donation and have some room. And so they got that. Then I went back and told them this whole story. Then the youth made some money on missions. They got a new couch in their youth room. So the frustration of dealing with a futon, which isn't really what you necessarily need in a youth room, was replaced with a better seating. The people who end up with the futon sleeping on the floor now have a place to sleep and have the dignity of being able to afford it themselves, get it there themselves, all of it under this banner of youth who now have this great memory of carrying a futon up the road and helping out their mission fundraiser. And it's this beautiful picture that reminds me that we don't always get to know the full story. We don't always get to know the behind the scenes things of ordinary life and how that is blessing and even making somebody else's life better. And so just remember that even those little things that we do may have a great meaning for somebody else, and it's an honor to get to hear those things. And maybe if you're aware of them, pass on those stories, right? Go back and tell the Monday night dinner community that story. Go back and tell the youth, hey, you thought you were just getting a new couch. Here's the full story, and recognizing those as not just coincidences, but perhaps a God incidence. May you remember that you have been fearfully and wonderfully made, that you get to make up part of these sacred stories and encounters, and may you recognize them and share them so that we can have a life and have it abundant. Blessings on your day.